let you know what's going on. Rich is trying to silence me with copyright. He now has, I responded, and he now has 10 days to decide kind of what he's going to do. I have given him my private information. Unfortunately, that is what you have to do unless you want to get the strikes or possibly have your channel taken down after 3 of them. There's more on that if you want to look it up or anything, but that's how I'm going to explain it for now. Okay. The reason I'm so upset is because my private information was given out. I already said that, but my family is more involved now. Like, I had to ask before I did any of that because they really don't deserve it. They don't deserve to feel scared for their safety because they don't know this crazy guy they see on the internet. And they also don't deserve to have their privacy invaded at all. And it's kind of the name of the job for what I did, but they don't deserve that. I do have a big family. I'm not going to name how many I have or who I live with or anything, but this all seems unfair because my videos were fair use. They are fair use. I know they are, and I know I will win it if he continues to push this further. I'm gonna say this, but I feel like I shouldn't. He has responded since by email to me. I can't say much on it, but I don't think this is going the way he planned. When does Rich ever guess right? But yeah, let's go ahead and get into more of what this video is going to be about. Today I have a guest, and I'm sure you can guess who it is, but it's one of the only things good that's probably come out of HFF, and I've made that really good friend. So let me introduce him. This is Jared, and he used to be a mod.
Hey everyone, thanks Melinda for having me. Where do you want to get started with this whole conversation?
Why don't you just go ahead and start with, why not from the top? Like, how you found HFF, and then why you started talking to him more, and maybe how he started to want you to mod.
Yeah, well, I'm just kind of scrolling through YouTube lives, and one day I just saw he had a bong in the corner, right? Mm-hmm. And I could see he was already dealing with some haters. And I was just kind of like, just smoke one, Richard. Because once I found out his name, I was just like, this is kind of a what do you want to call it? Like a dumpster fire that you can't, like, look away from.
Absolutely.
And just seeing how he entertained not just the members, the trolls even. You know, he was kind of intriguing to watch. And I think he took a liking to that. And so we kind of hit it off as friends in a chat or whatever. And I really hit it off with you more. I mean, and that was more through like the 18-hour streams that they both would be doing, Joy and Richard. And I guess when I wanted your number and I had to email Rich, that's kind of when he wanted to take the turn and be like, do you want a mod? You know, and he didn't even really, he just said, you'd be really good at it. You talk to everybody. And I didn't even know what a mod is, really. I didn't care. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it was nothing but a title to me. And it's not, it wasn't anything, really. It was just like, help moderate the people, I guess, and have them talking kindly or something. But I think he wanted just another man to defend him. So he felt more comfortable with himself, and that there was guys that were supporting him. Because I think he also felt very outnumbered. Like, there's only women. And at the end of the day, truthfully, in my opinion, there really was. There's some women that are even pretending to be men in the chat.
Yeah, when you became mod, so when he became mod, he was asking me to be mod, and I didn't want to do it because of the whole phone number situation. But when Jared was asked, I was like, oh, you should really do that. I think it'd be fun and stuff. Maybe I'll do it after I see how you're treated as mod.
Yeah. And, you know, everybody made a big fuss about the ID and everything like that. And it's, to me, you can be an adult and also black out everything that you don't want disclosed. You can show that you're a real person, and I don't think that was necessarily the wrong thing to do. Maybe you shouldn't have sent it to Richard. Maybe you shouldn't have. But like, I mean, getting doxxed by Richard isn't really going to do anything when he has 200,000 fake subs.
Yeah, they're fake.
Yeah. So like, let the 200,000 fake people come after me. But I think Melinda was the smartest one out of anybody by not doing that and staying true to herself, you know. Um, but I wouldn't change anything for any of it, just because otherwise I probably wouldn't have gotten to meet Melinda. So thanks for that, Rich and Joy. You know, actually, I really only thank Annette and Gloria. I don't even thank Richard and but like, you know, I was welcomed with open arms to all the mods and everything. Yeah. And I think it really disrupted a lot though when Rich brought on a male mod, because I didn't care for some of the drama and stuff like that. So he kind of kept me away from it, and hence how he kept Mark Weiner, you know, the managing mod, supposedly, away from everything. And he plays really dirty with how he tries to mentally manipulate people, because the times that I'm fast forwarding now, I guess, but
yeah, like, that's all right.
Once he had snapped at Melinda for trying to just stop the disruption caused in the Discord, I didn't ever get reached out to him until it was like I told him I'm going to St. Louis to see Melinda.
Yes.
And then he tries to say like, oh, send her my love and send her all the
Hey,
care.
1 minute. Why don't you stop there and then you can just tell that story. I think that story about how you were going to come see me and we gave him the few days. Start that one over.
Yeah.
The night he's yeah.
Like the night he berated Melinda, I was off at bowling league, and she kind of wanted to ask Rich if I should be informed since I'm a mod and stuff. Like, and he kind of wanted her to just like let it be and not tell me anything about it, which pretty dumb on Richard's part. Like, who do you think she's gonna call?
Yeah.
And then it kind of backfired because we played it really, and I waited back till he actually answered and told me he did, or how he just verbally abused Melinda and made her feel like she was nobody, when all she was trying to do is kind of bring a problem to his attention that was in his Discord that she kind of had helped, you know, keep things going and tried to keep the peace in. She was doing her diligence, trying to be a supporter and everything, and he just decides to snap on her and then not tell me, you know, because he wanted to keep it.
Yeah, that was the weirdest part. He specifically said it 2 or 3 times. Do not tell Jared. Do not tell Jared. So I actually had to think on it, and I was like, you know what? I think he needs to know.
Yeah, and then once I did know, I wasn't in the right state of mind, so I had to sleep on it. Thanks to Melinda for good thinking. But Richard didn't even talk to me about it until I told him I'm going to St. Louis. Yes. And then he tries to, you know, give her his best wishes when we all know that he didn't give a shit about her. He was upset that his drama didn't get to play out and he didn't get to play victim like he always likes to do. So then, I think it was that weekend, he started saying, oh, Melinda Sue wants to Melinda Sue me and all this stuff. And it's funny that it's coming full circle now to Richard, because it was such a joke to him then. And it's still a joke now, but we're not going to be the ones crying. We're going to be the last ones laughing at Richard in this whole fiasco of what he caused. He caused all this. He wanted to film himself doing all of this stuff, and then he wants it to be taken down when it's not viewed how he wants it. Yeah,
and it's not even a couple times. I think every single live, he's picking and choosing what he wants to be shown, but if you're on live and all these people are witnessing it, like, how do you think you're going to get away with this?
Well, he just does his little dirty deleting, puts it on private, puts out what he wants. And he thinks people don't watch YouTube closely like that, especially if, he took out, even I think it was the clip, was it yesterday, of him stating that he was going to dox me or.
Yeah, it was the other day. It was like a day ago.
Yes, but to even do that, he takes it out so YouTube doesn't see it, so they don't see him harassing, belittling his audience. Because he doesn't care if you're a member, if you're the top paying member. He doesn't care. He's just out to make sure he gets $5 from everybody.
So let's circle around back to the point of you were on your way to St. Louis and Rich was sending me well wishes.
Yeah, and just kind of being, like, I guess the normal fake friend that he is, of pretending to be like, oh, I hope Melinda's well and everything's okay, when he damn well knew that he's got you in your feelings and made you feel a type of way that you hadn't felt in a long time. And, that's really inappropriate on, especially a man you've never spoken to, that you're a supporter of his channel, and he should have respected you after he gave me the third degree to respect you, and that was a big trust thing for him to ever give out somebody's number on the internet. So it really just betrayed my trust in the guy, to think, what kind of man sits there and gives me the third degree on how to treat and respect women, when you're going to respect the girl I really like, or my good friend. I just kind of thought that was kind of outrageous. And the fact of the matter is, the only time he sent me or give Melinda well wishes was like 2 to 3 days later. And if I'm your mod, I would normally be on there every day. But after I had heard what he said to Melinda and how he treated her, I figured he could come talk to me like a man. And
I thought he was. I thought he was going to, but
he gave him the chance. We gave him the chance, and nothing amounted of it, though. So it was kind of like, why would I even want to stick around and support your shit show of a channel that you pretend it's your sister's, and then it's yours, and then it's Annette's, and it's yours, and it's just too much of a runaround. And I wanted some truth and honesty of how you did treat Melinda, and maybe just some apologies, and maybe things could have been done
or even just to ask about it at all. He didn't do anything. And he knew there was change going on, but he didn't want to call it out.
But for somebody to lie and just go on and say, oh, what best wishes to her, but why are the just best of wishes to her? Why should she need best wishes? What did you do? Or what did you say? Or, what didn't you do? Did you not try to apologize?
And he didn't say anything. He didn't end up saying anything.
Well, besides, you're so beautiful, Melinda. I knew you were always pretty.
Yeah, he did do that.
But again, that's the same shit, though. He tries to be so nice to me after he goes, oh, you went missing for 2 days, and blames me for being missing for 2 days.
Yeah.
When, number one, you don't pay me as a mod. Number two, the girl that I really like and my good friend, you just were being a complete punk to, and acting like that's okay how to treat people. So I owe that old man anything, and for him to just pretend to still, 2 days later, oh, send Melinda my wishes, it was just pretty pathetic, this part, because that's what he stood on. And then the next day, I just go to mod, and I'm just not a mod, which I don't care. That doesn't change my life.
Yeah, he just, without talking to you, he just took it away.
Well, and he didn't email me. He didn't text me anything.
Nope.
It just became a whole debacle. And then he tries to proclaim that I'm calling him all these slurs and names when I'm gladly on his chat. I was on there this morning, talking to Annette. It's just pretty funny, though. He's such a victim, and unless he knows, he's always the victim until he gets his money.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a victim. If he gets money, he's a victim. If he doesn't get money, he's just a victim. And I don't think.
Do you think he thinks he's victim in my whole situation going on right now?
Yeah. Now he wants to play victim, but the hard part is when you keep receipts. you got to pay those receipts, Rich. You don't get to just write these things off.
Yeah, that's why he wants my stuff down, because it is receipts of his behavior.
And that's the sad part, is that none of it is, you've produced all that work, right? Like, after you've already gotten it, you've edited it, you've done what you can to him. There's so many other channels that are just plain old reaction channels that do the same thing. They snipe his stuff. Like,
yeah.
It's just funny that he wants to go after you because nobody else is going after him this hard. I haven't seen any other channel try.
Yeah.
At least to expose this man, and it's not entertainment anymore. It's more of justice for Annette and Gloria, because we know who the real gambler is. We know who the real addicts are.
Yeah.
We know who's spending the money. We know who just has to sit at home and they're lucky enough to get to go to the clubhouse, but that's all they get. Like,
yeah, Gloria and Annette, that's all they get. You're right. And like to eat out on camera once in a blue moon.
But who wants to be eating on camera unless you're doing mukbangs or something, like you're actually on the internet? Not Gloria or Annette. She doesn't want to be on camera, period. And him to wake her up in all hours of the night just to do his streaming and say, oh, well, she was already up. Maybe she wants to just be left alone. Hence, she's in her room. Like, how often does Annette go bust into Rich and Joy's room and just be like, hey, what's going on? Kind of, he'll never treat her the same way that he wants to be treated.
No. He doesn't treat anyone that way. Like, if we're going by, like, the golden rule, like, treat people the way you want to be treated. He doesn't try at all. He doesn't apologize. He doesn't try to fix the mistakes he's done. He just runs with it, and it's sickening. Yeah, like, that an older man or that a person at all can be that unaware of how cruel they are actually being.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't, like, I know this is a little off, but when he even has said, like, oh, well, you guys know Joy's got to go to work now because blah, 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 somebody stopped donations. Like, Rich, you could just go to work, too. There's a lot of things he could do,
And I have more questions than just this, but I don't know if we're going to have enough time. I wanted to ask about your relationships with the other mods, because I wasn't a mod, so I wasn't in the group chats. I was always there, but I wasn't behind the scenes at that point with the other mods, just with the people I was behind the scenes with. But anyway, I wanted to ask, did you have relationships with any other mods?
Friendships, somewhat. I think with everybody, I spoke to everybody somewhat, I guess, on like the group chat and them welcoming me and stuff. Some others a little bit more, but for the most part, it just seemed that it was going to be a problem speaking to any of the other mods in a way. Like Richard was playing both sides of the table, and I think a lot of in-house drama that he liked to have with a lot of those girls when he was trying to blame who's a mod, who's a mole, who's a
yeah.
I don't know what you want to call
Yeah, he was all about finding the rat back then. Who's snitching? Who's telling secrets? Sorry.
It seemed like everybody was pointing. It's like that Spider-Man meme, when there's like 7 Spider-Mans and they're all pointing across from each other, and they don't know exactly which one's which, but just a lot of that kind of stuff, because some people just went away real quick because of the ID thing and stuff, but it was weird that he created all these group chats for people to talk, and then he didn't like when we did communicate and figured, out, oh, that's not necessary, that's unnecessary drama, or that's not needed to be said, or don't time out that person, like little stuff like that.
I just think it's so strange that we go onto this YouTube live and we don't think anything of it, and now that we're thinking back to it, it opened so much. And there's other people thinking about this stuff too, and like there were secrets, there were lies, there were people getting hurt, and
there's money being hidden. There was, because them finding out like, oh, we should just use our Cash App and not let YouTube take a percentage of it. There was a lot of stuff that's being hidden. that, it'll come out. What's the term?
Yeah, and it's only getting worse.
The cream rises to the top, though, and so all the good stuff's all about to pour out, really. And it's just a matter of time, because you can't just keep doing all those bad things and also not paying taxes towards any of the money that you're receiving as donations, because it might not just fuck Joy and Rich, but it's going to end up messing up Gloria or Annette's benefits when they don't claim that money and they put it in Annette's name with Annette's Club Love. Like, how come it's not Richard and Joy's Club Love?
I think that's another reason we're doing all this, is just to, like, try and expose that side of it, because they just don't deserve it. They just don't.
No, and there's things that you can ask for help and stuff, but when you're asking for help every day of the month and even when you know that they're taking Gloria's money and Annette's money, it's not right. It's crazy. It's elderly abuse, and it's like kind of what we said. He treats them like a dog when food is like a treat to them. They should be able to eat whenever they want. They can watch TV all day long if they want. Like,
yeah.
Gloria's earned it, and so has Nettie. I mean, just get the camera out of their faces and go film in the caves. Go back in the caves. Go pimp. Go do a show called Pimp My Cave. But don't pimp Gloria's house out. And in all honesty, it does look like he just wrecked the house to maybe have hoarders come and save him. I think he wants to be saved by daytime TV or some reality TV show. But I hate to say it, but the Jedi is probably going to be sleeping pretty soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sleeping in a cell.
He could, man. From what he did to me this last time, I know there's a lot more to come of that.
Yeah,
I don't think he took it seriously at all, choosing to copyright me. He thought I was just gonna roll over, and it's like, that's not fair that you get to say everything you want to say, and you're trying to silence everyone else. That's not happening on my watch.
And I appreciate that a lot. It means the world to me to actually have a voice in this thing and actually speak, because I knew there were people that did trust in this guy and in his wife. They trusted in the whole process, not just like how he always kind of claims, you're for one of us, or you love all of us, or you don't love us. And it's like, that's not how that works, Rich. Like, Annette and Gloria didn't do me wrong and then just tell me I'm a bad person for knowing that they were being treated wrong. Like, they didn't try and kick me to the curb. They always say, oh, hey, it's just when he wants to choose, to not have you in his group chat, but he allows me to say what I want and stuff. It's weird how he lets people linger around. He might not let me linger around after this video comes out, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe Charlie Brown will come back.
Yeah, but you do have such a different insight than, even I do.
Yeah, Rich let me see some of his soft side at times, because
he's very kind to you. He is very kind to you.
He didn't have a brother. He didn't have a little bro or anything, and we were really cool for a time being. But once I got out of the days of caught up, like, dreaming about Melinda Sue, and I started listening to these conversations that are going on, and him yelling about, oh, the way you start to think, you sound like a woman.
Oh,
and to me, I was raised by women, so you respect where you came from, kind of thing. If you don't have anything nice to say, just don't really say it.
Absolutely.
Or at least, and also, how about this? If it's not that nice, try and say it nicer. But at the end of the day, these two need to hear the truth. And they're just wanting to hear what they think is cool, and it's not going to be over till the fat lady sings, but the fat lady's getting ready to sing, and winter's coming, as everybody else on Reddit says.
Yeah, they do say
winter's coming.
Okay, so do you think we should wrap this one up?
Sure.
Okay, Jared, thank you so much for being on my show. I really appreciate it, and I think there's going to be a lot more of me and you talking about this stuff, because what he's chosen to do to me, what he's chosen to do to the other people, I'm just not okay with. And next time we might have a better setup. I'm going to do my best to make sure this audio is clear and just as well. So please like and subscribe. And very interesting, Richard. Good job.
Yep, yeah, baby.